Stanley Cup. You always will have a place in South Florida.
They defied the odds, silenced the doubters, and now they're back.
The Florida Panthers are going to the Stanley Cup Final for the third year in a row.
And it's a rematch. Florida Panthers against the Edmonton Oilers.
A fight to get to the final, it's just such a big deal.
The most important step is ahead of us. It's going to be a good challenge.
The battle reignites, the stakes higher, the mission unfinished.
We got one more job to do.
Next, the blueprint behind trying to become back-to-back champions.
We're trying to be the last one and the one team that's happy at the end.
WPBF 25 Sports presents Hunt for the Cup. Here are Shane Wright and Yanni Kourakis.
And with that, welcome to our WPBF 25 Sports Special, Hunt for the Cup. Alongside my teammate, Yanni Kourakis, I'm Shane Wright. Yanni, this is becoming a bit of a routine for us the last 3 years. We've seen a lot of winning.
A good routine, a third straight Stanley Cup final for the Florida Panthers, and as always, we have you covered every step of the way.
Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to preview the matchup against the Oilers, of course, look at the historic significance for the Cats, and give you the sights and sounds of a season to remember. We'll also hear from the fans as well. Game 1 is less than 24 hours away. The Cats taking part in Media Day at Rogers Place this afternoon after making the lengthy flight this morning from South Florida. Meanwhile, the Oilers getting in a morning skate on their home ice. The Cats will have 6 full days off between games and will certainly enter a very hostile environment in Edmonton, where that organization hasn't won a cup since 1990. All of Canada hasn't won since 1993. Both teams saying today's Media Day is just business as usual.
Not so much, to be honest. Just maybe the flight here instead of starting in Florida. Not much is too different from us. Business as usual, and just trying to get a good start in the series.
Obviously, just haven't gone through it, know what to expect. The whole thing just feels less emotional, a little bit more normal, so that's obviously a good thing.
And the Cats are 2-1 in games 1 and so far in the postseason. The Panthers enter this season coming off 2 Stanley Cup final runs and over 200 games logged. They have been busy.
Yeah, still, they were poised to get back to the Cup final and make history. Now let's take a look back on how the Cats climbed the mountain once again.
After an off-season of celebrations with the Stanley Cup and with some new bling, the Panthers got back to work in October. The Cats with a solid start to the season, 11-3-1, showing no signs of fatigue. But in February, while in the Four Nations tournament, Matthew Tkachuk suffered a groin injury, ending his regular season. The Panthers lost 7 of their last 10 games to close out the regular season, falling to the 3 seed in the Atlantic. But battle-tested and with playoff experience, the Cats made easy work of the rival Tampa Bay Lightning, winning in 5 games.
Huge, great feeling.
There's so much experience in this room, a lot of guys that have been there and been through it, and realize the importance of closing out that series when you have that opportunity.
Next up, Toronto. After losing the first 2, the Panthers pulled out a thrilling overtime win in Game 3 and eventually eliminated the Leafs in Game 7 in their building, dominating 7-1.
It's invaluable experience when you go through moments like this.
A matchup with Carolina loomed for the second time in 3 years in the Eastern Conference Final, but again the Cats showed they were the better team, beating the Canes in 5 and punching their return ticket to the Cup Final.
It's not our first rodeo with this, so we're looking forward to the journey of getting there.
All right, so here's a look at the Cup Final schedule as opposed to last year. The Oilers have home ice this year after finishing the regular season with more points than the Cats. Game 1 tomorrow night in Edmonton. Game 2 Friday at Edmonton. The series then moves to Sunrise for Game 3 on Monday, and Game 4 also in Sunrise Thursday, June 12th.
And if necessary, a potential Game 5 will be Saturday, June 14th, north of the border. Game 6 back in South Florida, June 17th. And a Game 7, if it goes the distance, would be in Edmonton Friday, June 20th. Last year, the Cats 3-1 at home, 1-2 in Edmonton. Now, this Stanley Cup final between the Panthers and Oilers will be the first Cup rematch since the Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Detroit Red Wings back in 2009.
That's right. It's also just the 4th rematch in the finals since 1968. But since that Game 7 win by the Cats in Sunrise last June, it just seemed like these two teams have been on a collision course to get right back here.
3 seconds to go.
One team chasing history.
The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup.
The other chasing revenge. The Panthers and Oilers back on hockey's biggest stage.
That's going to be an incredible battle again.
Going in there, it was one of the loudest buildings I've ever played in, so it gets really loud in there.
Last year, the Panthers pounced on the Oilers, taking a 3-0 lead in the series before Edmonton came back to tie it. Then the Panthers took Game 7 and their first ever Stanley Cup title.
Like, we want to win Stanley Cups. We want to compete for Stanley Cups every single year. Like, obviously, there's 31 other teams in the league, and it's hard every single year.
We all have that same expectation that we're gonna, fight for the Stanley Cup, and anything less than that is not good enough.
For the Oilers, there's unfinished business.
Really excited that we get another crack at it this year, and we can play a physical brand of hockey. We can play an in-your-face brand of hockey. Whatever game you want, we can give you.
The bad taste from the beginning of last year's series still raw.
They came out and played better in those first 3 games, and knowing the importance of every moment, I think we're going to have to take that to another level this year around.
This year, new memories will be made, new emotions will be felt. But for the Panthers, the goal remains the same.
They want it bad, so it's for us just to kind of play our game, and we're going to be ready to.
Time of our lives, so you might as well enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you probably shouldn't be here.
And this is the Panthers' 4th Stanley Cup final appearance. Back in 1996, their first in their 3rd year of existence. Then the 3 in a row we're in the midst of. This the golden age of Panthers hockey. 2022, a loss to Las Vegas. Last year, the matchup with Edmonton. The Cats now trying to become the 10th franchise to win back-to-back Stanley Cups. Now, we can't mention the Florida Panthers' success over the past 5 years without mentioning their president and general manager, Bill Zito.
Man, he was a godsend. A former sports agent, he became general manager of the Columbus Blue Jackets AHL affiliate before being named general manager of the Panthers in September of 2020. Since then, the Panthers have taken off like a rocket. In the 4 seasons before Zito was hired, the Panthers had 150 wins. In the 4 seasons after the 2020 season that was shortened due to COVID, 199 wins. 3 Stanley Cup appearances now, including, of course, last year's championship. 1 President's Cup for the league's best record in 2022. He's been a 4-time finalist for GM of the Year.
And he made the gutsy move of hiring Paul Maurice after Andrew Brunette led the team to winning the President's Cup in 2022. And a number of key roster moves, including trading for Brad Marchand and Seth Jones at the trade deadline this season. Matthew Tkachuk 3 years ago. Zito says a few things come to mind when he thinks about his own journey.
How lucky I am that people were kind to me and helped me when I was an agent, and the players who supported me as my clients. It's more gratitude than thinking about the success. It's really, we're focused on trying to get the job done.
All right, still to come tonight, how Brad Marchand and Seth Jones have really beefed up that Florida Panthers roster right at the right time.
Plus, I chat with TNT's Brian Boucher, who's on the call tomorrow night for his thoughts on the Cup final. Hunt for the Cup returns right after these messages.
Welcome back to Hunt for the Cup. Did you know the 2,541 miles between Edmonton and Sunrise, the furthest distance between two franchises in the NHL? They're far.
Pretty far. And speaking of long trips, 3 straight trips to the Stanley Cup Finals puts the Panthers in some rare air when it comes to the 4 major sports leagues in America. Take a look. This happened pretty recently in the NHL. Tampa Bay going to 3 straight Cup Final between 2019 and 2022. In the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs pulled off 3 consecutive Super Bowl appearances. They won the first 2, but just lost to the Eagles in February.
In Major League Baseball, the Yankees played in 4 straight World Series from 1998 to 2001. The Bronx Bombers won 3 of those 4 titles. Over in the NBA, Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors went to an incredible 5 straight NBA Finals between 2015 and 2019. They won 3 of those 5 appearances. And getting back to hockey, let's not forget what General Manager Bill Zito pulled off at the trade deadline that many really feel like put them in that position to repeat, trading for defenseman Seth Jones, and the trade that made headlines everywhere, bringing in longtime Boston Bruin Brad Marchand. Both Jones and Marchand have been playing crucial minutes this postseason.
This locker room is definitely special. The moment I came into this locker room, you could feel the intensity. And like I mentioned, you can feel the drive and the willingness to win from top to bottom, coaching staff, players, trainers, everyone.
You get those new guys that help put you over the edge to get to this point right now. So got to give them a lot of credit. We wouldn't be here without them, and we got one more job to do.
As always, Florida Panther fans have been with the team every step of the way, including some memorable watch parties in Fort Lauderdale at the War Memorial Museum. Cats fans optimistic their team can keep the cup in South Florida.
Glad to be here. What an amazing venue, new venue open, and the city's just going wild right now. It's amazing.
I think it's amazing like no other. The Panthers are #1. We're going back to the finals, baby.
Continue the great play, then there's no denying that we're some cup favorites for sure.
They're going to go all the way and win the Stanley Cup. Go Panthers!
When the watch parties continue with the Panthers on the road at Amerant Bank Arena, where they were held during last year's Stanley Cup Final for games 1 and 2. Game 1, of course, tomorrow. Doors open at 7, admission $15, with proceeds going to the Florida Panthers Foundation. The ticket also includes free parking and discounts on food and beverage.
And the success of the Florida Panthers seems not to be just contained within their own locker room.
It seems to have rubbed off on the Panthers' American League hockey affiliate, the Charlotte Checkers.
Yeah, the Checkers finished their regular season one of the best in the history of the franchise. And tonight, guess what? They swept the Laval Rocket in the Eastern Conference Finals to reach the Calder Cup Final. 67% of the Panthers roster was developed in the AHL. 92% of the Oilers roster. Florida GM Bill Zito says the Panthers players are fully aware of the Checkers' success, and there are similarities between the two teams.
Kudos to them and full marks for everything they've done. And you'll hear from the players, the culture is the same, right? Come in, be part of it, work hard, have fun, enjoy hockey, get better. Yeah, we're thrilled. We're thrilled.
And Game 1 of the Cup Final will air on TNT with Kenny Albert and Eddie Olczyk and Brian Boucher on the call.
Yeah, I caught up with Boucher earlier for his thoughts on this Stanley Cup Final rematch.
It seems like these two have been on a collision course since Game 7 of last year's Cup Final. When you look back at what's transpired since then to get here now, is it a surprise to you that we're seeing Edmonton and Florida again?
No, the big answer, no. But it hasn't been all that easy for both teams. I mean, if you really think about it, both teams were on the ropes at different times during these playoffs and really had to dig deep to find themselves to get to this situation. But when you look at the two teams and the depth that they have and the star quality that they have, it's not a surprise that there's a rematch in this year's final.
Edmonton hasn't won since 1990. All of Canada hasn't won since 1993. Is there more pressure on the Panthers or the Oilers in your estimation?
Oh, no question. It's on the Oilers. I think they feel the weight of, the country of Canada to bring home a championship. I think McDavid, the expectations for him to finally win is enormous.
All right. And finally, can you give us a prediction, or you got to wait for the TNT broadcast? What do you think? Who do you think wins this one?
Oh, man. I'm leaning Edmonton in a long series. I just feel like McDavid is the best player in the game. It feels like a bit of destiny for him, perhaps. I think it's going to be a great series. It's going to be a long series. It won't be a quick one. But in the end, I think McDavid is going to get his revenge. I hate to say it. I know this is Florida Panthers country, but it's just that's what I'm feeling right now.
Wow. No free beers for Boucher in South Florida.
I don't know if we agree with that. Thank you for his time with us. Meanwhile, the straw that stirs the drink for the Panthers, that would be head coach Paul Maurice.
That's right. Maurice is a coaching lifer who reached the pinnacle of the sport last year with his first Stanley Cup win. Maurice was hired after the departure of Joel Quenneville and interim Andrew Brunette before the 2022-23 season. And all he's done is win, win, win no matter what, leading the Cats to 3 straight Cup finals and a 10-1 mark in the playoffs. Maurice has coached the second most games in NHL history, nearly 2,000 regular season games in his 27 seasons behind the bench. He goes as far back as his first stint with the Hartford Whalers. That's how far and how long it's been. He's currently found his home, though, and here in South Florida, he calls this the best team he's ever coached.
Not really careful, but I'm not being disrespectful to the other teams I've coached. The team here, this is the best team I've ever coached. It's not really that close. Like, the drivers, the leaders, the core of this team are elite players. We've got a good team here, and just try not to mess it up.
And Maurice could become the 20th coach in league history to win multiple Stanley Cups.
They're gonna go all the way and win the Stanley Cup. Go Panthers!
Still to come, more from Panther fans out in full force.
Plus, Road Warriors, how the Cats continue to hunt on the road in these playoffs. You're watching. We'll be right back.
You're watching a WPBF 25 sports special, Hunt for the Cup. Here are Shane Wright and Yanni Caracas.
Welcome back. How could we forget the tour? The Stanley Cup went on after the Cats won last June. A wild day at the Elbow Room in Fort Lauderdale. Eventually a dip into the Atlantic Ocean.
And how cool is this? For us 2 years ago when the Stanley Cup made it right to our WPBF 25 studio, the Cup is 133 years young. It's made up of 97% silver. Every player of every championship team has their name engraved on it.
Earlier, we talked about going to 3 straight championship rounds in all 4 major sports. How about specific to the NHL? Take a look. The 9 franchises that have gone to 3 or more consecutive Cup finals. Montreal, 10 straight in the 1950s, then a streak of 5 straight and 4 straight in the 60s and 70s. The Islanders went to 5 straight in the 80s. The Maple Leafs, 3 straight in the late 1930s, way back. And the Red Wings, on 3 different occasions, went to 3 straight Cup finals.
More recently, the St. Louis Blues in the late 1960s and appeared in 3 in a row, but no wins. The Flyers of the 1970s won 2 of their 3 appearances. The Oilers with Wayne Gretzky went 3 straight times in the mid-1980s, winning 2 of them. Then the 2 Florida teams, the Lightning and Panthers, with matching 3-year streaks over the last 6 seasons. Tampa won 2 of their appearances. Of course, the Panthers are hoping to win their 2nd this year.
As Florida gets ready to defend their title, their fans all in, from jerseys to hats to game day rituals. Excitement is building as the team prepares for another fierce showdown.
Angela Rozier has more on the fan frenzy, a Dairy Queen tradition, and a discussion with Anton Lundell.
Well, the Florida Panthers are in Edmonton right now, and this is what it's all about, bringing home the Stanley Cup. Players and fans are excited. Florida Panthers jerseys, sweatshirts, hats, all are must-haves for some fans.
I mean, this hat looks cool.
No matter who your favorite player is. You guys have any favorite player?
Barkov or Ekblad.
I don't have.
I have his jersey.
I don't have a favorite.
You like them all.
I like them all.
While fans get ready for Game 1, players on Monday got some last-minute ice time. They're getting their final practice here in South Florida. They are excited to defend their championship, and so are their fans.
They had an awesome season, and they're going to do it again.
The team's intense style of play has earned them a reputation of being physical. Something Panther center Anton Lundell added to his game.
I didn't play this way before, so it took a little time to adjust to that, but that's the way that we play, and that's the way that works for us.
He's expecting a grudge match.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a heated matchup again for sure. But it's a new story, and we got to earn every win this year, so I'm sure they want to put everything they have on the line, but so do we.
No word about a visit to Dairy Queen while in Edmonton. A stop for an ice cream blizzard in Raleigh, North Carolina during an off day for Games 1 and 2 of their series against the Hurricanes turned viral.
I better get lifetime free supply of Dairy Queen now. Thank you, fellas.
He really likes the place and make sure everybody who hasn't been there before tries it out.
You tried it out?
Not yet, but I'm looking forward for it.
Game 1 is Wednesday.
Let's go Panthers!
In Fort Lauderdale, Angela Rozier, WPBF 25 News.
And if you are a Cats fan and you're worried about the series starting on the road tomorrow, this might make you feel just a little bit better. The Cats are 8-2 on the road in these playoffs, 48 goals and only 21 goals allowed. Their plus 27 goal differential through 10 road games is the largest in NHL history. Also of note, they killed 88.6% of the opposing team's power plays, and Sergei Bobrovsky has a save percentage of 91.4%.
Hey, this is cool. Florida Panthers captain Alexander Barkov happens to be a fan of another local sports team, the FAU Owls. We've seen Barkov a couple times at FAU men's basketball games in recent years. The Boca Raton resident and 3-time Selke winner, of course, with primo seats courtside.
All right, one more timeout here on the show before we return. We're going to give you our keys to the series and our predictions as to who wins and why, coming up after the break. All right, time now for our keys to the series and what the Panthers got to do to bring home that cup.
All right, here's mine, right? You have to penalty kill for the Panthers, prevent McDavid and Draisaitl from scoring on that power play. Balance scoring. 19 different Cats have scored this postseason. Keep it going and steal games on the road. We know how good Florida has been on the road. They'll need to win at least one to win the series. I think they need to do 2 road wins to win it all.
And for me, you got to limit Connor McDavid. Good luck with that. He leads the postseason in points, 5-time NHL points leader and 3-time MVP. Big time, Bob, we're going to need you. You're going to need Sergei Bobrovsky to be the same Bob we've seen this postseason. 3rd right now in goals against average. And, of course, you've got a fast start. This is going to be a hungry Oilers team. They want redemption from last year. They want Connor McDavid to get that first Stanley Cup championship. What do you got?
Prediction time. Panthers in 6. They repeat at home.
Listen, in Shannon Sharp, the words of the great Shannon Sharp, Oilers, boilers, spoilers, Oilers going down in 6. All right, look for our reporting online. And for Yanni Caracas, I'm Shane Wright. Thank you so much for watching Hunt for the Cup.